So again, with this example, we're going to be solving linear equations. We're going to determine the solution. Again, a solution means we solve for an equation. This is an equation. It's got an equal sign in it. And we're going to be finding the value of the variable, and in this case, it is y, so that when it's used, it makes this equation here a true statement. So as we've done in previous examples, I'm just going to write this down. I'm going to have y divided by 4. That's going to be equal to 12y plus 3. And again, I want to deal with this denominator here. So what I could do is I could go ahead and either multiply either side by 4, or I could just do the whole thing at once. It means the same thing. We're either doing it each individually or doing it all at once. And then I just multiply this to every term inside the equation here. So if I take 4 and I multiply it to y over 4, this 4 winds up canceling this 4. And that's the whole idea. We want to factor out that denominator. So I'm left with y. 4 times 12y, that's 48y. And 4 times 3, that's 12. I could then use the addition property, and I could subtract out 48y from either side. I'll subtract it out here. And of course, we subtract it out here. Y minus 48y, that gives us negative 47y. 48y minus 48y, and of course, they wind up canceling. That's the whole idea. So that's going to be equal to 12. We then use our multiplication or division property. We can either multiply either side by the reciprocal of negative 47. We could multiply the entire thing by the reciprocal of negative 47. Or we could simply just divide either side by negative 47. That's usually the most direct way, right? So this winds up canceling. Y is going to be equal to, now let me just point something out here. 12 over negative 47. That's the same as negative 12 over 47, which is the same as negative 12/47. So this is the proper way of writing it, where the negative sign is level with the division bar. But sometimes we like having it written like this or like this. It helps us as we go ahead and we do our arithmetic. But since it's alone, it just sits out in front like that. Don't forget the negative. So for this one, 12 over negative 47, that means 12 over negative 1 times 47. That's what that means. And this one means negative 1 times 12 over 47. And this means negative 1 times 12/47. So it all means the same thing. But this is the proper way of doing it. So that's how I'm going to write it down here. Negative 12/47. So how do we know that this is the right solution? How do I know that y is equal to negative 12/47 is the actual solution for up here? Well, we'll have to check it. And we'll do that by slugging it back in here. So I'm going to do that. So I've got negative 12/47. And that's all over or being divided by 4, right? Y over 4. That's going to be equal to 12 times negative 12/47. And then, of course, plus 3. Now, you should really, really resist using your calculator. Often when we use our calculator too much, we get lost or confused as far as what we're supposed to enter. So you should never use your calculator until you know exactly what you're doing or it's absolutely necessary. And part of the exercise here is understanding the relationship between these values and using factors in order to help us. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this denominator here, 4, and we're going to use the same idea as we did over here. We just went ahead and multiplied the entire thing by 4. So why don't we do the same thing? So we'll go like this. Multiply it all by 4. And when we did that, when we took 4 and multiplied it to this term here, the 4's canceled, because this winds up being 4y over 4, and those common factors will cancel. It will be the same thing here. 4 times negative 12/47 over 4. The 4's are going to cancel. So this winds up canceling. So of course then I'm left with negative 12/47. We do the same over here. 4 times 12, so this winds up being 48 times negative 12/47. And this winds up being 4 times 3, which is 12. And can you see how this looks similar to this right here, except we've replaced y with negative 12/47. Now I need to deal with the 47ths. I'm going to rewrite this term right here just for clarity. So I have negative 12/47. That's going to be equal to negative 12 times 48/47 plus 12. So now if I repeat the process, similar to what we did here, except here we just used that handy way of just dividing either side by negative 47. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to multiply this by 47. So the 47 here will cancel out the 47 here. And I'm left with negative 12. The 47 here will cancel out the 47 here. And I'm left with negative 12 times 48. And then, of course, I have 47 times 12 here, and 47 times 12. That's 564. So I'll rewrite this as negative 12. Negative 12 times 48. That's negative 576. And then, of course, plus 564. And negative 576 plus 564 equals negative 12. So it's a true statement. So it looks as though y is equal to negative 12/47 is the solution to this linear equation. And there you go.